Okay.
There we go.
Hello, the light is on. We are live. Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf. This is the voice of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. This is episode 098. Wait, that's 98. That's a lot. We're recording live on March 10th, 2017. Maybe we'll have something special happen when we hit episode 100. I don't know.
Nudes at 100.
Thus ensuring we'll never get to episode 100.
I didn't
Okay, so I'm joined by Brads tonight. We have our usual Brad with the mullet of leadership, Brad Mull. How are you doing, sir?
Hoi hoi. Evening.
And we also have Groovy Guy Brad. I don't know your surname, actually. No, Smith.
Yes.
Yes.
The two most common names in the English language.
I don't know. There's a hell of a lot of Jasons. So, in response to your nudes at 100, I will throw you back an ASL.
Oh, okay. I'll be 33M Perth.
All right. Yeah. Cool. That's too far.
Lol.
JK. Okay, so what have you guys been up to this week? I've been away for a couple of weeks. I went to Barcelona and it was awesome, and so I wasn't here. I'm sorry. And what have I missed?
Wow.
That was actually really loud. What did I miss? What's been going on? Anyone?
Not really a lot here. Down to Melbourne last weekend for some Toy Fair stuff, but I'll get into that a little bit later.
Super secret squirrel.
Yeah, well, it's not now. It's all said and done. So, yeah. No, apart from that, not a great deal. Not a great deal at all.
Excellent. So let me just adjust my volume there so that I don't get deafened whenever Brad does his deep voice of death.
My deep voice of death.
Yeah, that's fine. See, now my headphones are fine.
Can't get enough of your love, babe.
Ladies and gentlemen, featuring Barry White.
Yeah, can someone please just kick in some Barry White in the background? Yeah. So this it's gone well early. This is the podcast of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. You will find our website at transformerscca.com, and we are an incorporated club in Victoria. So it's over to Brad for the membership count. Brad, take it away. How are you doing?
Why, thank you, Jason. Paid and proud membership this week still sitting at 155, and our Facebook member count has gone up to 2184, up 17. In the last fortnight, so we're nearly at 2,200.
Nice.
Yeah, that's also a big number. I wonder if we'll get to 2,200 before we get to 100 episodes. And
yeah. We can just stop doing episodes until we hit 2,200.
True. That will bode really badly if we stop doing that.
Yeah,
2 week holiday.
So leading into some of the news, Brad, do you want to talk about your thing?
Yes, last Sunday, the previous Sunday, I got invited from Ozformers down to the Hasbro Fan Meetup in Melbourne. Went down there Sunday of last week while the Toy Fair was running down there, and met Griffin and some of the guys from Ozformers. Surprisingly enough, they have the same issue as we do of getting people out to meetups, even with the lure of Hasbro maybe attending. It wasn't a done deal. Hasbro sort of would only be there, or would only say they're going to be there at the last minute. So either way, we're going down for a meetup anyway. Of the 7 people that turned up, 4 of us were TCCA members as well. So we had the minority there. But good time down there. We got to see some new bots.
I think you might mean we had the majority.
Yeah, that's the one.
The complete opposite of what you said is what you meant.
Don't go into politics with confusing the difference between minority and majority.
So basically what you're saying is that you went to the world's greatest meetup of 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Yep. So yeah, we got to see some new bots. Got to play with some of the new figures that are coming out. Cup, Preceptor. I think we're going to see them in a minute as well. But yeah, some good toys coming, and I going to spend some money soon.
That's actually kind of Hasbro's goal, right? Like turn up to a meetup and extort money from people. Maybe not extort, but
Now I have to sort of preface this. I reckon, or I suspect, Hasbro have got one or two collectors locked up in a basement somewhere and do some sort of shock treatment or word. Not recognition.
I was going to say
association.
You were going to say you were going to say word association, but you failed on the word association part.
Yeah. There were a lot of big words getting thrown out to
anti-disestablishmentarianism.
No, to perk up us in attendance, like words like mega fan, super fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stuff like that, describing us as the important ones and not Hasbro.
You met with a marketing person, didn't you?
Yes, which is probably why. A lot of discussions about conventions, what Hasbro can sort of do more for the fan community. There was talk about having more world exclusive reveals in Australia from fans. So I think it was pretty constructive. We got about an hour and a half chat in with them, and it was good. Talked about several things and look forward to the future.
Did anyone have any third-party bots on the table?
No third-party bots there. There was one person complaining about Titan's return, and particularly Blur, and he's like a paint apps. One of the first things they said when they got there was, "Who's excited for the movie this year?"
And they got booed out of the building.
Unfortunately, I was the only one.
This is actually
the only one there in support.
Yeah, this is the point where Brad managed to become Hasbro's favorite person.
Oh, really?
I was the only one there in support of the film, so I said I can't wait to get my hands on that Megatron, hoping it was in the shoebox in their bag, but it wasn't. So that being the leader class one.
But there was some interesting stuff in their shoebox. Do you want to cut over to the screen share feed?
I can do that.
Where we have a good look going on at Titan's Return, Slugslinger and Misfire.
Mm-hmm.
So these toys sitting on the table is actually the first time this was seen for the world. So nice picks, nice chance to get a look at these figures up close and personal. Now, these were prototypes, you said, and they were a bit fragile.
Misfire, or the purple one, was hand painted. But the blue one, it was in its final paint, but it wasn't. It was glued together. It wasn't transformable.
Okay.
Basically they're both still in prototype or early stages yet, but they're this is supposed to be final paint on both of them.
Looks cool. Well, yeah. So I assume it's final like colors for the paint taps and stuff. Yeah, nice. So nice job getting a look at these guys up close, and also some nice photos too.
I was going to say I didn't take blurry pictures.
I know this is the first time ever. And good job. You've wielded that iPhone camera very well.
Yes, I had a lot bigger cameras surrounding me. It was sort of interesting. They pulled out the shoebbox and we had a 5-minute guessing game of what was going to be in there.
Did they play what's in the box?
Was everyone? Hasbro, what's in the box to you? And were people disappointed when they realized that it wasn't going to be like, like you said, movie figures or anything like that?
I got a weird look when I asked the movie leader Megatron. They said no, it was Titan's Return. So they'll both good to play off. Like the little headmasters are pretty much what we've seen before. These guys being a repainted top spin and twin twist, or top spin because he's out. So
cool. Nice. There's not really that much more to go on with these guys. I mean, there's the there's the official press images that have made it out now. So the press images are renders. So
yeah, I don't see how they can get away calling these press releases when they're just computer mock-ups of stuff they're intending to release at some point.
No, these are the press photos. They're the ones that go out with attached to a press release. So like they are the press images, but Hasbro's press images are all 3D renders these days. Mind you, over time their renders get a little bit more photorealistic with their lighting and stuff. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah,
but it's closer up and more detail. And there's like obviously no mold lines or anything, but you can see where the software that renders it has tried to make the finish look a little bit more plasticky.
Yeah,
it's funny that one of the other guys brought up blur. I thought with this figure especially. A lot of pink plastic and not much else. Like, yes, you got the white in the thighs and on the legs, but
that's all Misfire is, just pink and with a bit of white.
Yeah. I don't know the G1 character, so that's when they pull out. Oh, they pulled these two bots out. I'm like, who?
Who are these?
Yeah.
See, for a render, that's really quite impressive.
Yeah.
But you never see that much detail on the figure proper.
No.
And so you got a similar set of figures for Slugslinger as well.
I think Misfire, set of renders. Yeah, Misfire's just a repaint and slight remold of Trigger Happy. What about Slugslinger? Is he new or?
Don't know.
Yeah, they're both
repaints.
Both redos. Yeah.
Okay.
They might both be. Yeah. Don't know.
Actually, his legs do look similar to Trigger Happy's.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, anyway, look, they're impressive enough looking deluxes. Like, I've ended up on a bit of a quest to get the deluxes for each of the waves recently. Haven't bothered with all the Titan Masters or anything, but the deluxes are pretty nice.
Yeah, it's just sort of interesting seeing these photos now after I've had the bots in hand. Just how different the colours look. Like a lot of time, we see these photos a lot earlier than when we get the bots on shelves, and it's just interesting. Now they said before they pulled them out, there was 2 worldwide exclusives coming out of Toy Fair, and this was one of them. So there's still something else that hasn't been revealed yet.
Ah,
it must be still under do not talk about it yet.
That's interesting.
So
we've had people who are actually on the showroom floor talking about what they saw in there, and we know that they had Triptychon on display inside at the Toy Fair. So like while these are called Toy Fair reveals, it's because it occurred at a meet that occurred because Toy Fair was on, but it wasn't at Toy Fair. I'm sure these figures were at Toy Fair as well, but their actual reveal to Transformers news.
Yeah, they brought them. They brought them across from the fair during the lunch break. Because they did have. I know Griffin was allowed to take photos. There was no other photography allowed in the booth. There's a couple. I think Lego was the same. There's a few of those setups in there now where, yes, you can get in the front door, but you actually need appointments with Hasbro to go in and see what they've got on display.
I mean, that seems fair because, like, you know, it's not an all-in trade show. Like, no. I've just returned from Mobile World Congress, which is like an IT industry trade show, and so Google's only booth there was it was like a blank wall that was purely there to hold meetings. So there was no Google stuff happening unless you had an appointment before you set foot inside the trade show. But like, you know, it's all exhibitor stands at trade shows have meeting areas these days, and so it seems a logical extension that some trade shows the booths would be an entire meeting space. So, yeah, I think we've seen that in some of the other trade show photos that have involved Hasbro in the last few months as well.
Yeah,
let's move on. So
before we do, can you just bring back up
move on.
Can you bring back up our website where the photos were that I took?
Yep.
And go down to the others, the Cup and Blur and that.
Cup and Blur, yes. So these are Cup being the The Titans Return Cup. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, they brought some other figures. Griffin had some from there. Cup, Preceptor, some of the RID stuff as well, Blur and Soundwave, and they're great little figures.
Yeah, so the Titans Return Deluxes, I don't really care for that guy.
That's great. I love that.
I've got him. He's awesome.
The Titans Return Deluxes, Perceptor, and is Cup out now, I think?
Yes, one other member did bring him, so I'm guessing he brought it from somewhere.
Yeah, so Cup and Perceptor are out now in the current wave. And there were also the RID figures for Soundwave and Blur.
Yeah.
And
those figures in the background, were they customs?
They were.
Yeah, they were He-Man customs.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Fuchs in the group. He done all them up. Yeah.
So yeah, I quite like the Soundwave and Blur RID figures.
Please be aware these aren't transformed properly. This is just me exploding and pulling them apart.
I think you represented them well, man. They look, pretty.
Yeah, they're great to play with. Better hip tolerances than what some of the Titans Return stuff does at the moment. But they're great to play with. So
yeah, cool.
I'll definitely be picking some of them up.
All right.
Now we
Shall
can
we move on now? Okay, cool. Yeah. So as Titans Return is nearing its 5th wave of figures, there's obviously we're obviously closer to the end of Titans Return than we are the start. So we know that the next series is Power of the Primes, and it will complete the Prime Wars trilogy, which is so far fairly loosely connected. And so we've got an interesting rumor on what the next thing for Prime Wars is, and this post, I think this just ended up on Reddit under an anonymous on Reddit or 4chan or something. And so the exact quote is: Prime Wars' next gimmick is Toys to Life. Download an app and scan the card that comes with the figure onto your phone, your iPhone. It says, I'm sure it'll be an Android app as well. Play stages. It's unknown what type of game it's going to be using said character. So it's the same gimmick that we're seeing with the RID game, where you scan the character's faction badge, and that character will appear in the game. And Titan Masters. Yeah, everyone. Amiibos do it. Skylanders do it. Yeah. So Titan Masters will be replaced by equally smaller guys. They won't be Headmasters, but closer to Micromasters. I love Micromasters. That become Target Masters or weapon platforms. Legends will still be able to cart the tiny men around. Prime Wars will still be mostly 88 to 89 crew. Things like Turbo Masters will show up from time to time. All 5 Dinobots will be made, as well as the remaining 3 Insecticons will appear. Ransack will show up towards the end of Titans Return, as will Barrage. Venom will either be Wave 6 of Titans Return or Wave 1 of Prime Wars, which I think they mean Power of the Primes. Maybe they actually just mean Prime Wars. Who knows? Yeah. They're saying he's like Buzzsaw in Combiner Wars, where he may not be able to fit into Wave 1. Also, Scorponok will be the next Titan after Triptychon. And Titans Return RC is just a repaint of Titans Return Loudmouth.
Okay, there's a Titans Return RC coming.
So we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, that there was a rumor for Titans Return RC. It was a little bit surprising that we were going to get one so quickly after the Generations one, which is quite well received just a couple of years ago. But I guess they've also done Cup recently as well. Maybe not quite so recently as they've done RC, but yeah.
Well, when I heard Titans Return RC, I thought was going to be, because in the 80s they were going to have a figure of RC, and it was just going to be a repaint of Chrome Dome, just done in pink. So I was thinking Titans Return RC, they're just going to be reusing the Chrome Dome mold.
Yeah.
But now it sounds like she's just going to be a Titan Master.
It sounds like it, because Loudmouth is just a Titan Master, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a little car.
He's a little one. Yeah, the neutrino car.
Yeah.
Yeah, disappointed, but oh well. Doesn't really matter.
No.
Scorponok's coming.
I wonder how they're going to do his headmaster, if he's going to be a headmaster.
Yeah, Triptychon isn't, though. Although Scorponok really would have to be.
Yeah, but
what about things like the Dinobots coming out?
I'm really excited for that.
For Dinobots.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing I've read in here. There hasn't really been a redo of the Dinobots in sort of the G1 aesthetic yet. I can't wait to see what they do with all 5 of them.
Do you reckon they'll be deluxes or voyagers or
I don't know if they'll make it the same scores.
Will they be Titan Masters?
Yeah.
Well, we've already got Clobber.
They can all be repaints of Clobber.
Yeah, the 89 to 88 to 89 crew, that doesn't interest me at all. I'm just glad to see some of this other stuff here that's going to keep me collecting the line.
There are a few interesting toys, characters, and gimmicks from 88, 89.
Yeah, well, a lot of the weapons platforms and target masters, that's sort of what I'm after.
I'd like to know the differentiation between a target master or a weapon platform. I mean, one way or another, it's still going to be a weapon for a larger character, isn't it?
Maybe. I mean, it's possible that it'll turn into something else. Who knows? I don't know. So I feel the 88 to 89 prevalence is kind of throws up a bit of a warning sign for me, because that was when Transformers started getting really gimmicky and sort of stopped being straight up, hey, this figure transforms and it's, a robot in disguise, but instead it has to pair with a Micromaster that has to transform into a particular mode to form a weapons platform if he's going to fight. It's like, what?
Or it could also mean they're sort of Americanizing Japanese or European known toys and characters, because there are quite a lot of 88, 89 characters. I think Overlord, wasn't he 88, 89? Or was he 87?
Yeah, no. Well,
yeah,
we know there's going to be an Overlord at the moment anyway. So
yeah,
Saber.
But they could just be sort of looking into that 88, 89 catalog and realizing that there are a lot of characters and gimmicks that are sort of, they're frozen back in 88, 89. So they're just sort of renewing them.
Yeah, so they've done a Leo Kaiser in Combiner Wars as well in terms of bringing Japanese figures over to the West. But yeah, sure, maybe that'll happen. I'm kind of surprised by the remaining 3 Insecticons as well, because the number of people that we've got in the Facebook group going, I've got the Insecticon set. It's good, done.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they're new molds, because I've got Chop Shop and he's just a repaint of Scrapnel, as they called him. So I wonder.
Yeah, so I think they're going to end up. I think they're going to end up being repaints. The last ones. I don't know. I mean, at least one of them can be a repaint of Kickback quite easily
with the clear plastic.
With or without. I don't mind which one, but I think the clear plastic suits the character. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the whole set of them is ripe for e-hobby to do a more nuanced set that holds them all together at the same time. Anyway, so this is all rumors. I think there's we don't really know when Power of the Primes or Prime Wars or whatever is going to start appearing. Like, we suspect it's going to be around the end of the year, right?
Well,
I think it's going to be mentioned like in some upcoming fairs, isn't it? It's going to be at least hinted at.
Yeah. Well, one of the Slug Slingers or Misfire, whichever one of them's due in like August or September. So we know Titan's Return is going to keep on going to the end of the year anyway.
Also, so it's I suspect it's going to pause for a while the movie toys come out and do their thing.
Well, maybe while the movie line's dying out, that'll be when Prime Wars starts up in like October or November or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. Let's move on. There's a pretty picture to look at up next. So if you are listening to the audio version of the podcast, sorry,
tough.
But yeah, here's a picture of 2 Titans going head to head. We've got Triptychon versus Metroplex. This figure came out this week. I'm not sure if it's actual source, but pretty impressive to look at the scale of these guys. Although I got to say, like, Trypticon doesn't really seem to be doing much. He's just sort of standing there, while Metroplex has the much better pose.
Well, don't be mean to a T-Rex just because he has small arms. He can't really get that many poses.
Well, he can't really fight back, can he?
He can bite.
Plus he's just snapped his hips by standing up like that.
But one thing I'm looking at here, I just see lots of very, very small stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'm very glad at his height, because I was thinking for some reason he might be Devastator height, Decepticon Titan Master, but it looks like you can go toe-to-toe with Metroplex.
Yeah, it looks like it. On the sticker front, I mean, there was a Hasbro Asia sticker sheet for Metroplex, I think, wasn't there?
I think so.
Thank you for the support.
I was sort of confused as to the question there.
So a sticker sheet exists. and it's official.
This is one of those hypotheticals, isn't it, Jason?
No, it doesn't come in the box, but you can order from particular places, and some people sell that sticker sheet to you. We saw this come up. We saw this come up in the group today, actually, because someone posted a picture of the official Hasbro Asia sticker sheet for Titans Return Deluxe figures.
They were at the meetup last weekend.
Mm-hmm. And so
sheets of those going around.
Yeah, so like it's kind of funny. Like you don't get them with the figures; you have to buy them. You know, you have to know whose palm agrees in order to get these sticker sheets. But I sort of wonder whether or not you get a better experience from official Hasbro stickers or versus repo labels.
I think
seems like the repro labels are even probably easier to come by than the Hasbro ones.
Plus, don't repro labels have a different, like, you can choose as to what they're printed on?
I've got no idea. I've never actually ordered them.
Okay. I think you can choose what they're printed on, whereas these ones, it just looks like it's one sticker sheet fits all for each character or something.
Yeah. So something interesting to note, looking at Trypticon, he's got a cute little sticker on his foot that says 86. Which you probably can't see on the.
No, I can see it.
Yeah.
Also,
I can't actually zoom that in.
Also, when the guys went over. Oh, down a bit.
No, here we go.
Being get blurry.
Yeah.
No, but I've just destroyed the rest of the images. But so he's got a neat little 86 sticker on his foot. So yeah.
When the guys went over to Toy Fair on Sunday, they had a bit of a play around with it, and they couldn't get any more extension out of that tail. That is the tail. There's no.
What, you mean they couldn't get it up further, or?
No, like longer. There's no nothing pulls out or anything. That is all the tail he's got.
I'd say that's about the perfect length.
Are you saying the Trypticon's running out of tail?
You got stuck in the door.
Cricket's chirping. He doesn't have a tip to the tail, so maybe that's why it looks a bit odd.
Yeah, that's what people have been saying for a couple of weeks now. But I don't know. You see chopped off tail. I see third-party upgrade kit.
Yeah. And this thing is big enough as it is without having another 4 inches of tail hanging off the back of it. Like it's been. I think from New York Toy Fair, they were saying this thing's 3 foot wide in base mode when it's set up.
Yeah, I mean it's 2 foot tall. You don't want it to be 4 foot in length with the tail.
It's already going to be big enough.
I have a feeling the way that'll be boxed will be you got the biped and then you got the tail, and you probably have to attach the tail.
No, also remember earlier in the year or late last year, someone went along to a convention with one of the legs of Trypticon.
Yeah.
They'll probably take his legs off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still that mass has got to fold, unless the tail can fold up onto his back or something.
Actually, Trypticon will look weird without his legs. He'll look like a huge mechanic tadpole.
Yes, he would.
And,
anyway.
Did they say this guy, he doesn't have electronics, does he?
No electronics in it.
All right. I reckon he's still awesome. Probably better without electronics.
Probably, but who knows?
Well, that's why you've got all that empty cavity in his chest now, where you can do something with. Where before that would have been all.
That would have
Always
been all
walking gimmicks,
circuits and stuff. Didn't they say that in his ship mode he can be piloted by a deluxe, or was that just a theory?
Yep. No, you can pilot. Yep, you can be piloted by the deluxe.
Cool.
Whatever its name is.
Full tilt with roll bar or something.
Tilt. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Had to get the Titan Master in there, bastards.
The Titan Master. Yeah. Oh yeah, because Full Tilt has his own Titan Master too, right?
Roll bar, yeah.
Well, he's going to come out under the Titan Masters line, so you got to do something, right?
Yeah, he's going to be awesome.
Agreed.
Does look pretty good. Let's move on.
Okay.
Takara Masterpiece Grapple is beginning to ship out. We've seen pictures of people's shipping notices, but I'm not sure that we've actually seen people on the group who've received them yet.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saying that Hobby Link Japan has started sending them out. So pretty cool. He is, of course, an Inferno repaint. Seems that people are less offended by that this time around. By the sort of the flat panels. I think people are a bit over it, and they're perhaps dazzled by the orange plastic. This guy does look pretty impressive. Especially
he's going to look vibrant on anyone's shelf, no matter what you've got with him.
Yes, he will. And there he is being taunted a little bit by Devastator.
No, that's a shot from the Master Builder episode.
Yep.
When they're building his thing and they trust them. That's a brief little synopsis there of that episode. He builds something and he trusts someone.
That was very good. Those are actually like the two main points of the episode, so it's okay.
Yeah, there you go. Don't need any names.
Yeah. So, does anyone have Masterpiece Grapple on order?
No.
I do.
Have you got your shipping notice yet?
No, because I didn't order it from HLJ. But yeah, he is. I believe he's this month's Masterpiece release, or maybe he's late last month. I don't know. But so we should see him landing in people's collections pretty soon. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Yep.
Lots of burnt retinas in someone's future.
So the other Takara news item we've got this week is that someone has gotten their hands on Unite Warriors Baldigus, better known to the West as Ruination.
Yay!
And they've also got their hands on a G1 Ruination and put him up for comparison. Now, in both incarnations, he's a Bruticus repaint, so it seems appropriate to have them both up there. But yeah, have a look at that. There they are, side by side. I figured. So they've actually put a number of photos up for comparison of each of the different figures. I'm kind of looking forward to this being the last time I see these combiner wars. Oh, look at that empty leg there, Brad.
Wow.
I say it because I know it annoys you so.
There's that thing again.
Yeah. And yeah, look, it's it's
a nice spread of colours.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive, isn't it? And the colours are quite accurate to the G1 version of the figures as well, which I think is good.
I'm looking forward to this for two reasons. One, because I don't have Combiner Wars Bruticus, and two, I've got the Transformers Collector's Scourge. You know, that black repaint of Laser Prime.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So he was the commander in Robots in Disguise, something along those lines. So it'd be nice to have them together.
Cool. Have you got the Legends version of Scourge, Grand Scourge, the black repaint of their Optimus Prime figure?
No,
because I want that.
Yeah.
So, has anyone ordered Baldigus from? I think he's available. I haven't seen anyone actually advertise that they were importing him. Did they, or did Premium do it?
I think he's just an exclusive from a few websites, isn't he, or something? Or
I believe he's a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive, but that doesn't preclude him getting imported.
Well, usually it's like sort of at Takara Tomy Mall for the first month, and then like all other suppliers sort of buy from Takara Tomy Mall and. They just sell it off.
Not quite. I think what really happens is that Takara Tomy, so especially with Masterpiece figures, Takara Tomy will say, hey, we get 2,000 of these. And people will assume that there's only 2,000 of them on the planet, but there's actually like a large amount that goes to Hasbro Asia. But that's not, I don't know if that's necessarily the case with this this time around, because the same thing has happened with other Takara Tomy Mall things like Grand Galvatron, and they are definitely not all over the place at the moment. That's been quite hard to get. I actually managed to order one from Takara Tomy Mall because they put them back up for sale this week with their garage sale. So I'm pretty happy with that because that set has been going for like $300 on eBay.
So what was it like with the exchange rate and such?
He ended up being about $180, which is about what the Unite Warriors
it's pretty good
here anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to ship to Tenso, and then I'm going to have to ship from Tenso to Australia. So, like, the shipping will cost a bomb, but I've thrown a couple of other figures in there just to get the shipping sort of spread across multiple figures.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So, Baldingus was not actually one of the sets that I ordered. I'm kind of regretting it now. I kind of want it. I don't know.
I do like the colours a lot more in the G2 version, but
I think any color scheme is preferable over a G2 anything.
I like it. I've got a G2. I've got a G2 Bruticus up there on the shelf behind me. I quite like it.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
I like the colours. I believe we christened him Fruticus.
yes.
All right, let's move on. We've got a little bit of third party news. I am not. What just
third
happened?
party must die.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll prove a controversial choice. Enjoy the argument that will ensue in the discussion area on that. So TFC Toys has has released a prototype shot of their version of Road Caesar. Now, speaking of combiners, this guy is yet again another combiner, but he's got a fairly well defined and quite impressive robot form. And so I'm not at all familiar with Road Caesar, so I don't really know what I'm looking at. It's whether it's particularly impressive or not, or if it does justice to the character. So
it does look like someone's just sort of reached into the TV screen and pulled him out, made him into a real figure. Yeah,
good to know.
Yeah, this guy is a three car team. The way they combine is the leader forms the upper half, and the other two form the legs.
That leader must be a very big car.
Yeah, he looks at. Mind you, in the cartoon, they're portrayed as the same size, but for that to work, he would have to be huge. Yeah. Like looks like the legs look to be Voyagers, so maybe he's like a leader class scale.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So look, if you look at the photo there with him standing next to a keyboard, probably not that big.
Yeah.
The sword, however, is enormous.
Yeah, it is a massive sword.
Yeah, he's overcompensating. That thing looks very sharp too.
It does look pointy. It's just nice looking engineering all around, like getting those cars to do what they're doing there.
Yeah.
The top of body part as well. Yeah, it's not something I look at buying, but I do admire the engineering that's gone into it.
Yeah, I totally don't see the car in the top. The top figure. He's like I'm assuming
on the back of his legs. I think that's
and the side
car kibble wise. Oh yeah.
But like I don't see a bonnet or a windscreen.
They're on his back.
On the inside of the
I
legs.
don't see them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So yeah. Impressive looking figure. Doesn't really do much for me, but impressive looking figure.
I like the character, and obviously because he's G1 Japanese, actually getting a toy of that will be astronomical.
Yeah.
But to be honest, looking at this, it looks to be overcomplicated third-party transformation stuff, and I don't really have time for that.
It's entirely possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. An interesting story came out this week with Mastermind Creations turning to crowdfunding for their art repaint of their own Inferno figure.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we've got pictures of the figure here. This is their version of Artfire, and his name is Kojin. And he comes with a target master as well. And there's I think someone who posted this in the group said it's obvious that Ocular Max knows that Takara Tomy has like destroyed them on sales for this figure. Yeah. Because there is in fact a masterpiece Artfire coming out in a couple of months' time. So Takara's doing their own repaint of Inferno with this figure, and including the target master as well. So that is actually something that's new. So I think there's a distinct feeling that Ocular Max is only going to produce this if they think that they can sell enough to make it profitable. So you're going to have to go to the shop.ocularmax.com website and find the figure and actually pledge to purchase it if you like what you see here and you want to add this to your collection, as opposed to a masterpiece Artfire, then go for it and pledge your support, and they'll figure out when they're going to manufacture it and let you know. But if enough people sign up, then your purchase price goes down as well.
I think they're offering like advanced copies of it or something to people who are backing them. I think that's the sweetener of their backing GoFundMe at the moment.
Yeah. So I got to say, I purchased the Ocular Max Inferno a good like 6 or so months ago. Haven't really been motivated to purchase the others, but
any particular reason? No, not good quality, or
I've got the masterpiece ones on order, so I'm like,
oh well, there you go.
There's no reason to buy two.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, don't double up.
Okay, the last
Hasbro, Brad, don't double up.
Buy Takara and Hasbro, but don't double up.
So not in a cold day in hell.
I've been saying for a while now that I'm done with Bad Cube. I haven't been terribly impressed with Bad Cube because they're sort of overly complicated transformations, which someone said with their Trailbreaker and Hoist that they were due to sort of redeem themselves on that front. And then I saw someone mention in the group the other day that they didn't, and that those figures are still very complicated to transform. So with that in mind, these mini guys coming out from Bad Cube, so there's a Huffer and Pipes. So they're called Huff and Piper. And these guys,
very original.
These guys look pretty awesome. These guys look pretty awesome. They look quite nice. And of course, so Bad Cube, having derived themselves from Cubex, they did previously have their own Huffer. So there's a few comparison shots that I can't find as I'm flipping through the images. There we go. So Huff has a more anime accurate design with his legs, but you can see it's very much inspired by the same.
It looks like they've also just given him a collapsible cabin.
Yes, so there has been a bit of discussion over the so-called realistic cabin, and people are saying that they don't really like it, but it is what it is.
So essentially, they haven't improved the hips; they've just made the backpack smaller so it doesn't want to bend over backwards.
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah, maybe. Look, he looks pretty good all the same. I've asked for that to go on pre-order. So yeah, and Pipes looks pretty cool as well. These guys have quite impressive foot designs or feet designs with their ankle tails. Bearing in mind that they are mini bots, but they're not legend scale. They are larger than that. But like you can see some serious ankle tilting going on there with the prototype for Pipes.
Yeah,
and I quite like
a large deluxe, aren't they?
Just under.
Maybe, yeah. I'd say they're probably a smaller deluxe.
Yeah. Oh, smaller deluxe. Okay, all right.
So yeah, Huff and Pipes, they're coming out. I'm not entirely sure when they're coming out. Does anyone know?
No.
That Piper looks like he comes with a transformation cog, and I don't know what that other thing is next to him. Maybe a mouth plate? No,
it's probably a piece for something. Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like something for the... yeah.
I don't know why Huffer comes with 2 guns. He was never really a gun guy, unless they're just doing their own established continuity stuff.
I think they just find their alternative guns just for him.
Yeah.
One could be a comic gun, one could be a cartoon gun.
Yeah.
One might be pipes. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't mind the look of them, but I've got the original Cubex Huff, and I've got no issues with that whatsoever.
Yeah, good.
Not going to sell one to get another one. So
I would say it's probably a bad idea to sell one to get the rebuild of it. So yeah, no release schedule or price has been announced yet, but you can check out the images on the site there on TFW. So with that in mind, we'll move on to a little bit more of an exciting story. We were looking at this in the pre-show before, and then got quite distracted and realized that about half an hour had passed.
Yeah, like 3 hours had gone by, and we're like, "Oh, hang on, we got a show to do."
So, TFW posted a review of these sets called Extreme Sets. There's a control center diorama, and so as you can see, it makes for quite a good background for photography for masterpiece scale toys, and it flat packs from here. Now, we were a little bit skeptical when we first saw this because some of us have set our sights on obtaining an iGear control center at some point in the future, and some of us also go to the website that I think Brad knows has the link to it in the group somewhere, and they often print their own sort of tiled backdrop that makes it look like an Autobot or a Decepticon base. So this is a pre-made and printed onto the cardboard, and so as you can see, there's some quite impressive things you can do. And I'm thinking I need to start photographing my toys on top of glass surfaces because they look super impressive.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I did see mentioned in the TFW review is that if you like to photograph your bots upwards, which often does impress on the view of the scale, because a lot of the bots are depicted as being quite larger than humans. So shooting them upwards actually does improve that giant bot illusion. But so you can see here there's a Masterpiece Optimus Prime, and it scales quite well against him. He's quite large, and so is the cardboard cutout. And then they've gone for the mood lighting as well. And they're pretty impressive shots. I'm really quite taken by them. And I've also got no idea how this one came about, because there's very clearly blue in the background of the previous shots, and here it seems to have turned purple. So unless they selectively changed colors, I don't know.
It's either they got slides, or maybe they have some sort of highly reflective material, because now that we're looking at this one again, the blaster one, it looks like it's been just sort of drenched in like a reddish purpley light, whereas the Bumblebee one looks like it's got a crisper blue and white light shining down onto it.
But the light also seems to be emanating from the control panels. So I don't know. Maybe there's something that they can do. So we were so taken by this that we decided to go and look at the company's website.
And we bought the company.
and then we got lost. So you can see here, this is the page for the control center pop-up diorama. And they've got all this information about how it looks and examples of how you can link them together. They haven't got any bloody information on the size of the items, or the dimensions, or how you hook them together or anything. So the company is called Extreme Sets, and as you can see from the logo at the top of the page, they're really they're really big on wrestling. And so they do these things like the arena pop-ups, which you'll show there. And so you can get a nice photographic background for your wrestling photography. So yeah,
wrestling photography.
look, we do Transformers photography. It would be naive to assume that people don't do wrestling. But so look, there's an announcers table and stuff. So there's all this cool stuff that you can do with here. You can do with these things for wrestling, and so imagine what these guys will be able to do for Transformers. On the website, they've got a headquarters pop-up diorama, which is obviously the Decepticon version here, and apparently it can't be ordered. In fact, look at that. It says, no, that's coming November 2016.
It says coming November 2016, so we should be able to order it now.
I think what really needs to happen here is that someone who's actually so motivated to buy these sets needs to actually get in touch with them and ask for this information, because it's just not on their website. There's a couple of other cool things that you can do with it, and so you can see this. So this is a locker room set up probably for 1/6 scale figures and stuff.
I was worried you were going to have your Decepticon headquarters filled with bookcases.
Yeah.
Auto weapon storage.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You could totally do that.
I could actually see some good scenes with some of the bots in there with towels wrapped around them.
And if you happen to be a Ninja Turtles fan as well, then there's a few sewer sets that you can set things up as well. So you can see there. So these things are really designed for people with a lot of display space. But like if you cast your eye behind me, I've got this IKEA shelf where there's obviously space for this kind of thing on top of it. So maybe that's the kind of thing that you put on top of an IKEA shelf. Or maybe if you look below, there's a sort of a long space there. Maybe you put it inside it. But like I said, we don't know the dimensions of them. So
the best we know, each panel's about 1 foot long. So.
And then I guess they're like 40 to 50 centimeters high, but
maybe
there's nothing there. For some reason, I got stuck thinking the Autobots showing up for battle just using wet towels. The locker room setup. Anyway,
that is a problem.
Yeah.
I also spotted this command. I spotted this command center one, which. It looks almost a little bit like the command center in Transformers Prime, so you could set some figures up there. And also, it's got the background that shows, it's a subterranean underground base as well. So,
yeah. Also, the first, that one that also looks like the power stations from season 1 of the
Sherman Dam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get Soundwave in there making some Energon cubes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So in terms of availability here, I see coming early 2017 for the set for the Autobot Center, and coming 2017 for the Decepticon one. So that's why you can't order it yet. But I think they're going to need to get to work reprinting them, because I really want to order some of these. I reckon they look pretty cool. That is
looking about $36 US. We don't know what's in that yet either, so
yeah. We're done for the news this week. Let's let's end the screen sharing. We can talk about some stuff before we end the show. So it is that time of the podcast where we talk about new acquisitions. You guys have handily filled out nil.
It's a new character named Nil. A new character named Nil, and he transforms into a not fish, because you got gill, no gills, Nil. He's not a fish. I can't show him to you though. It's very, very hush hush.
It was a long walk, but we got there. We can't show you his face on television as well,
because he's a dentist.
Mm-hmm. So it falls to me to talk about the stuff that I've recently acquired. So I'm going to do so.
Wasn't there a story you were going to show us as well?
Lost Com Gateway.
Yes.
Yes. I've got a Com Gateway package coming over at the moment. So when I went to London over Christmas, one of the last things I did before I left for London was I purchased an MP11S, the Sunstorm version of MP11. off an eBay seller in the States, and it was a fairly good price, and it went to Comgate when I thought, yeah, I have to remember to ship that stuff, or I have to remember to buy some extra stuff to ship over with it. Time passed, and I didn't buy anything because I feel a little bit poor at the moment. And so I got a notice from Comgateway as I went to Barcelona saying, hey, we're going to destroy this package if you don't claim it.
That's a bit of a dick move.
No, that's perfectly well in line with their things. I left something in their storage for like 3 months, and so it's beyond the normal 60 days free storage, and then it's gone 30 days, and I haven't paid for it, and I haven't made any move to ship it. So they're like, yeah, we're going to destroy this if you don't claim it. That was when I went to Barcelona, and I thought I have to remember to do that, and then I forgot. And then on the flight back to Australia, I had in-flight Wi-Fi, and this mail arrived, and it was just like, you've got 7 days to claim, and then it's gone. I was like, phew, I've still got 7 days. That's good. So so on Wednesday, having been back in the country for 5 days, I remembered, and I remembered to get this thing shipped over. So next week I should have a Masterpiece Sunstorm to talk about as a new acquisition, and a couple of other things as well. I do have a couple of other things that I acquired before I left. This guy I'm kind of inclined to leave in his jet mode, because I think it's actually a little bit nicer in his robot mode. This is Robots in Disguise Starscream.
Nice.
He's nice, but like he doesn't sit together very well. He's got this very, very sort of busy, crappy underside. But you know, like if you look at him above from the jet mode, it's pretty good. But his shoulder pads don't actually connect to the wings; they just sort of sit.
Oh, wow!
So they're just sort of hanging there, and they can move around themselves. But this is sort of stuff that you can't tell when you're looking at the press photos and stuff. So like, he's all right. There's a few complicated movements that you need to make to move everything around on him for his transformation. So probably belies how simple a Robots in Disguise figure should really be. Otherwise, I don't know why it took so long, but I managed to get my hands on a Titans Return kickback. Finally. No, seriously, it's actually taken me ages to find any of the Wave 3.
Yeah, he's 3. No, kickback.
You gotta look
3.
You got to look in Australia, not Barcelona.
The deluxe as well. So let's talk about Barcelona for a minute. Because,
I was going to say, how's Target over there?
Not Target. I went to have you forgotten my breakneck thread in the buy sell trade group? I went into a shop called Cosmic in Barcelona. Preface to this, like I post pictures of my Transformers on Instagram, and a Spanish community's official Facebook or Instagram account started following me, and so I started following them, just toy pictures, why not? And so when I realized I'm going over to Spain, and I'm like, oh, I'll have to get in touch with one of the Facebook groups or anything in Spain and get some recommendations. Wait a minute, they follow me already on Instagram. So I messaged them, and like within about 10 minutes, someone had written back with some recommendations for shops to check out in Barcelona. And so I went to check out this shop called Cosmic, and it's a comics and collectibles shop, and it was amazing. If ever anyone manufactured an action figure, it was in this shop. Like they had Dexter action figures, Doctor Who action figures, Terminator, Genesis, all of these really obscure things.
Oh wow,
there's probably one. Very good. Like all of these action figures that I didn't realize had been made for things like, I was walking walking along their very, very long display case, and I was just like, I don't know what the market for all of these things is. Oh, there's some Transformers. Cool. And so they had a couple of the die-cast titanium figures. They were still in their box, and I decided not to get them because Didn't really need them. But what I did see on the shelf was, so they had a bunch of Combiner Wars figures and some Titans Return figures, and that included Combiner Wars Breakneck. And so I know there's a few people who are looking for it, and so I very quickly posted in the group, hey, there's, I've got 4. I'm looking at 4 in this shop. Would you like some? And within about 10 minutes, I think it was full, and 4 of them had been claimed by people. So if you are one of the people that claimed a Breakneck from me, then I will be in touch with you to arrange payment and ship that out this week.
Nice.
So it was pretty nice. I was able to do something. Touring around Barcelona for members of the club. So
he'll hold it for 60 days and then he'll destroy it.
I will destroy it. Yes, I'll sell it to someone else.
Okay.
A couple of other things arrived this week. This the upgrade kit for MMC Carnifex.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, I now need to buy an MMC Carnifex.
That would help.
Oh god.
Yeah. So I ended up buying this because it was $35 and with free shipping from Planet Steel Express. So I bought it direct from them, and I've decided anything that Planet Steel actually does free shipping on, it's probably best to get it from them. But if they charge shipping, it's probably better to get it from an Australian dealer. So I now have the second run of Carnifex on pre-order from Collector's Drift. So I'm looking forward to that. He's due next month. So there'll be Carnifex and an upgrade. And Ocular Max Terrigus, their Trailbreaker.
Cool.
I need that one.
Well, there was a big sigh that just came out, Brad.
I need that one.
Okay. So I've obviously not opened this, but a couple of things come to mind while looking at this. One, Ocular Max seems to have forgotten that the point of putting the window on the box is so that you can see the toy inside. Seriously, guys, like make the window slightly bigger, and you can construct the plastic shell inside the box such that the figure is actually closer to the front.
It's managing to convey the fact though that there's actually a figure in there.
That's correct. You can see that there is something in the box. The other thing that strikes me about this is look at the freaking cell shading, like the shine effect. It's way overboard on this guy. And
put
also
that on your figure.
And also he's got tiny hip syndrome. But fair enough.
Those hips don't lie though.
I think the version of the figure on the bottom looks much better, but again, overactive shading. So, yeah,
it looks like when you open it up, you expect to see it with white streaks on it.
Yeah,
that would probably be bad. Actually, that vehicle mode looks pretty freaking awesome. Look at that.
Yeah, that's why I got them. The best looking vehicle mode.
Sorry, robot mode too. Yeah. So I will get around to opening that at some point in the future. That is about it for new acquisitions, unless I talk about my Nintendo Switch. But
go on.
I bought myself a Nintendo Switch in Barcelona because I took it out of the country. So if I purchased it in Barcelona for the standard price that you purchase everything at, it was about $5 cheaper than the Australian price. But
all you have to do is fly to Barcelona. You can knock $5 off your Nintendo Switch,
and you can get the VAT refund as well.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wow, it's worth the trip.
So all up, I walked away with about $70 extra in my pocket. So I was pretty happy with that. I went in and I pre-ordered it the night before release. My flight left on the Friday at about 2:45 p.m. and the shop opened at 10 a.m. So I went straight to the shop at 10 a.m. I'm like, I want my pre-order, please. But there was a massive queue of people who'd already pre-ordered it.
Of course. Were they camping there the night before?
No, seemingly not. But when I went in, there was I went in the second the store hoarding went up. I went straight up to collect the pre-order, and there was 10 people in front of me still. And I was like, where did these people come from? But I think there was actually a second entrance to the store that I probably should have been at instead.
Fair enough.
So yeah. So
how have you I've had bad experience with buying electronics from overseas. Is the main menu in English?
Yes. Switch is completely region free. I purchased Zelda and Bomberman, and they're both in English.
Do they taste revolting?
Okay. I do not feel the need to lick the cartridges.
Oh, go on.
Just give them a good blow.
Well, that's a completely different proposition. Not without dinner and light conversation. But yeah, no, it's good fun. I haven't actually hooked it up to the TV yet. It's I'm still using it in completely portable mode, but and I actually need to set up its online stuff here. But yeah, so yeah, pretty fun. Zelda's pretty fun. Bomberman, I played Bomberman most of the flight from Barcelona to Dubai, and then I swapped over to Zelda. So yeah, pretty decent.
Cool.
Very nice.
All right, that's it for new acquisitions. That is actually it for the podcast. So let's wind it up, shall we?
Done.
Good. All right, that's it. We're done. So thank you for listening, everyone. This is the podcast for Transformers Collectors Club Australia. The website is transformerscca.com. You'll find links to the Facebook discussion group, the sales group, the YouTube channel, the Twitter page, and the podcast. And if you do find the podcast on iTunes, if you are using that thing called iTunes, do feel free to head over there and give us a review. The link is on the website and in the show notes. So thank you for listening. Thank you, Brad, for joining us all the way from Perth in another time zone, a time zone so different that you may as well be in another country.
I'm speaking to you from the past.
Yes. We're speaking to you from the future.
Do you have Wave 4 yet?
No.
Not that far in the future, then.
No, actually, it's kind of funny. I've seen a lot of people on the group saying in the last week or so, "Oh, Wave 4 is out in America." I don't think it is. Like, I haven't seen a lot of I haven't seen a lot of in-hand images and stuff, except for collectors from like Philippines or China.
Yeah.
China. So I don't think Wave 4 is out in America, and I think we've heard that the waves actually take a while to be officially released in America. We get them and we assume that because we've got them, America's got them. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, but we get them, but we don't get them in a large abundance. We get like a small trickle. And
true.
Then after a few months, it sort of goes overboard.
Yeah, and then they shelf form for a while, and then nobody orders the rest of the waves.
I just seriously hope we never, ever, ever get another leader class Skywarp situation, because he is still shelf forming, even stores that don't sell Transformers.
So Combiner Wars leader Skywarp didn't come here for ages, and then it's like someone's actually opened a pallet and found that oh shit, there's a ton of them. We've got to
no, I think someone opened a warehouse. So like just like 4 rows of Dax shelves and just all Skywarps.
Maybe Hasbro realized that they forgot to release it here and are now compensating.
I would have loved to have seen that. To be in the warehouse, I'd be like, hey, what's all this?
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Megatron's doing that here.
Send them out now and maybe no one will notice.
Yeah.
All right. On that depressing note.
Let's try and end it on a positive note. Does anyone have one?
Next week, really. 99.
Do we have to get smart puns ready?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. All right, yep.
Okay. Well, if I'm on that show, I'll be sure to research some.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening, everyone. And we'll be back with you next week for episode 99.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.